Hello again, everybody. Julie Walker here, talking about persuasive speaking and the four major components to a persuasive speech. Now, every single persuasive speech that you give should be addressing at least four things. We've already talked about how your speeches should address problems and solutions. If you're not covering at least problems and solutions, my guess is you're just doing a poor informative speech. It's not what we want to do. We want to do an effective persuasive speech, which means that you need to cover these things. And even if they're not the main points of your speech, they still need to be hidden amongst your main points. Regardless of the style of persuasive speech you're giving, these are things that you need to be covering. First, you need to have a problem, which we've talked about before, but we're going to talk about it again just briefly. You need to identify what problem you are trying to solve. That problem is likely going to be one of two things. Are you trying to get your audience to change their behaviors? Or are you trying to get your audience to change something that they care about or value, or the way that they care about something, or the way that they value something? Those are two of the major kinds of persuasive messages that you're going to try and create. If your problem does not convey a change that somebody needs to make to a behavior or a value, you're not giving a persuasive speech in the way that it needs to be given. So, first thing, you need to establish a problem. Second thing, you need to establish who or what this problem is harming. All right, call this your harms if you need a little tagline for your notes. Harms are the things that identify why the problem is bad. Okay, who's being hurt? Who's being killed? What kind of animals are being hurt? How does that hurt us as a people? What is global warming doing? Yeah, I said it, global warming's real. Ask Bill Nye, right? So these are things you need to be thinking about. Who's being harmed and how are they being harmed? There might be a problem out there that you see as a problem, but it might not be something that somebody else sees as a problem until they understand how they're being hurt by it, or how someone else that they care about is being hurt by it. That's why whenever people talk about rape culture, they say, men, think about your wives and daughters. Oh, I'm not hurt by rape culture, but my wives and daughters are. Now I might care about it. Okay, so harms, another important thing for you to be thinking about when you're creating persuasive messages. Third thing, causes. Start thinking about why this problem is happening, all right? It's all well and good to think about what's happening, it's bad, and who it's hurting, but if we can't figure out why it's happening, it's going to be a lot harder for us to solve it. Think about, is there a person that's in charge of this? Is there a governmental program that's in charge of it? Is a mindset shift that we need to change? What about this needs to be changed, okay? Fourth and final thing we need to make sure we're doing in every single persuasive speech is offering solutions. These solutions need to be audience specific. Think about the people in your audience. What's going to affect them? What do they care about? What do they value? If you don't know what those things are, do some research. Find out about what they care about and value. Because otherwise, why are they going to change the way they're acting or change the way that they're thinking based on your presentation, specifically if it's a short presentation? So figure it out for your audience. Also, make it specific to what your audience can do. If you're talking with a group of people that aren't in the government, don't say the government needs to act. Because they're not the government. They can't make changes as non-administrators of the government. Instead, say, write to your congressperson, write to your representatives in the state, write to these people, vote for these people, that kind of thing. We can control who we vote for and what we write to people. We can't control what the government does with their money. Okay? Also, think about things that you specifically can lead people in doing. Start a petition and have people sign it. Start a website where you start creating awareness for this thing. Start a cause, start a 5K. I don't care what you do, but the more that you can get involved in making a difference in this topic, the more that you are going to be able to influence your audience and help them understand that you care. So, 4 parts of a persuasive speech. Every single persuasive speech needs problem, harms, causes, solutions. These might not be 4 main points, but they are things that you need to make sure that you cover somewhere in your speech.